Andy, happy to finally get the deal done here?
Yeah, delighted. It was it felt like a long couple of weeks to obviously before it sort of got sorted out, but obviously once I knew after a few days that we were going to get something done, I was just looking forward, and thankfully it's all done now. I can just concentrate on the start of the season and tomorrow night.
What was it that made you decide that Rangers was the club that you wanted to sign for?
Well, obviously being my boyhood heroes and growing up a fan, obviously I had concrete offers elsewhere, so people found it maybe a little bit strange that I was going to come on a trial basis with contract offers on the table, but if you get a chance of signing for your boyhood heroes, you're not going to turn your nose up, and I'm going to take it. And obviously I was confident enough in my own ability that I was going to prove myself, and thankfully it's worked out.
So for you, a lot of people wonder where Rangers are. It puts people off, but for you, the league that they're playing in doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, but I don't think people down south realise how big Rangers really are. And at the end of the day, in my opinion, the club will be back to where it's at in no time and where they belong. And to be honest, for the good of Scottish football, because at the end of the day, I think they need Rangers, and hopefully we can get the club back to where they belong and back to the status that they once were.
How long were you at Rangers as a youth team?
I think it was 2 or 3 years.
What age were you then?
I left when I was 15, so must have signed when I was about 12 or 13.
So what was going through your mind at age 15 when you think you've probably lost a chance to play for?
Yeah, as I said, it's probably the lowest point in my career, but as I look back, it was probably the best thing that's ever happened in my career, because at the end of the day, it gave me a platform to go to Livingston and get first team football so young. I made my debut when I was still a schoolboy at 16, so I certainly don't look back with any regrets, but you know, I suppose I just sort of channeled that frustration, that anger at the time, and all the emotions, and I knew that I was always going to get a chance to come back one day, and thankfully it's happened now.
It make it all the sweeter that you are back here when you can think back to that time and how you were feeling then.
Yeah, well, obviously it's a bit, you know, funny, because obviously Danny Wilson and Nicky Clark were both in my youth team, and obviously they're there now. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's Rangers, you know what I mean. There were so many quality young players at the time, and obviously I had quite a lot of injury problems, so it didn't work out. But obviously, you know, it's good to come back now and maybe I've proved a few people wrong.
Do you think the club's changed much since you left?
Well, Murray Park's nah. The club's maybe changed a little bit, but obviously I still see quite a lot of familiar faces and people I recognise, and that's obviously nice, and it helps to settle in. But likewise, the boys have been brilliant since I've been in as well, and it's helped me settle in a lot easier. Now I can just look forward to playing football.
How do you feel then your game has developed playing in the leagues in England and the clubs that you've been at then?
I'd say the biggest thing's probably athletically, yeah, because I was very slight when I was young in Scotland, and that's something that obviously it's quite a physical league, the Championship in England, and you know everyone's quite powerful and strong, and at the end of the day I've worked with so many good coaches as well with a good background, a good pedigree, so you're just going to improve, you know, quite a lot as a player, and I think I have improved quite a lot as a player since I've been down in England. So but at the same time I'm looking forward to playing my trade back here, and yeah, it's went well, and as I said, I'm just looking forward to the start of the season. I can't wait to get started, and I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow. Obviously it'll be the first time I play at Ibrox, so I'm just hoping you know, it's a good turnout and the boys are looking forward to it.
There's a big gulf in the money between England and Scotland, but is the training too different between the two countries?
Not really. I think you know, one of the big things, obviously it didn't take a lot of appealing to come back to Rangers, obviously the way I was, but obviously a big factor as well was the gaffer, because you know I've played against Brentford, I know how they play, and it was a team that from afar I really enjoyed the style of playing, and obviously the gaffer and Davey are trying to bring that here, and I think it was, you know, quite a similar style to what I was used to at Karanka at Middlesbrough. So you know the training's quite similar, so it's something I've been able to take to quite easily, and at the same time I think the standard for the boys has been really good in the last couple of weeks, and at the end of the day we're only 2 weeks into pre-season. You know, it's a longer process, but yeah, the standard's been really good the last few days.
You perhaps more than other players coming in this summer know the situation at Rangers, you grew up around it. I mean, was it a simple case of the manager asking you to come and you fall, or is it a case that you think, I know now that Rangers is a club I can go play for, as opposed to perhaps a few years ago it was a bit more trouble?
Yeah, at the end of the day I've always wanted to come to Rangers, but I think in a way, as you said, it's obviously it's a good time to come, it's an exciting time. I think all the fans are really looking forward to this season, and I think they've got to just buy into what the gaffer and Davey are trying to do. I think they're just trying to change the style of play from scratch. They're trying to bring in some players to add to the quality that's already here. And so it's exciting times, and obviously it'll be good for myself to be a part of getting the club back to where it belongs.
I mean, Rangers in a kind of peculiar situation because they've also got hopes of moving up the league. As a player arriving this summer, is it almost a case of taking a calculated risk in the hope that in the long term you're playing the top division, you're increasing your own reputation as a player?
Yeah, in a way. But as I said, the main objective is just to get Rangers back in the SPL, and that's the only objective we've got this season, to be honest. And obviously we're all looking forward to cup runs and whatnot, but at the end of this club, the Scottish football needs this club, and we need that league as well. So that's the main objective for the season. But we're looking to add obviously attactive football and a style of play that we've been working on, which we're all forward to, broadcasting that tomorrow, because I'm really looking forward to the game tomorrow. Obviously Burnley were Premier League opposition last year, so it'll be a good test for us, but it's one we're looking forward to.
Managers obviously try to get young players in, young players are hungry, but also guys that he thinks can handle the mental kind of challenge of playing in front of a big crowd at Ibrox. Is that something that you know all about that crowd, so you know exactly what the demands are and the expectations are?
Yeah, obviously having a season ticket for as long as I did, obviously I experienced quite a lot of the big nights, but it's always going to be different when you're playing on it. But yeah, thankfully for such a young age, I've got quite a lot of experience in first team games, and I've played in front of quite a lot of big crowds and big occasions. So I think it's something, to be honest, I'm just looking forward to. That's all I can say really. The reason you're in football is for the big occasions and the big crowds, and there's no more passionate than our fans here. So yeah, that's all I can say really. I'm just really looking forward to playing in it. I'm looking forward to the big games, and obviously we've got a couple of big ones coming up.